So it's not like wealthy people like Will Motivation and TJ Millionaire Mentor and people like that. It's all about human connection, and we all long for that. We all long to be near other humans. Look at this. Look what that says. It says guns and coffee.
Yeah, there's love, there's hate, lies and games, faith.
Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel, and today I'm going to discuss what I believe is going to be the future for auto YouTubers such as myself. So for those of you that have been paying attention, there has been a sort of war in car culture to where, and let me be fair. So first, actually, let me explain how the world works, right? So it's not really politicians that just, they strive for higher ideals, they get into politics, and then they dictate policy that they believe is best for the people. Who actually runs the world? It's a very small percentage of people just think it's wealthy people. So it's not like wealthy people like Will Motivation and TJ Millionaire Mentor and people like that. These are people that had to work hard and build their wealth, and people like Richard Fain and them, they worked hard, built their wealth. Even Floyd Mayweather, they work hard, built their wealth, and they understand the value of hard work and strife and going against something difficult to put themselves up to where they are, right? So these are not the people I'm talking about. I'm talking about the old money people that have inherited their money and they've lived a life of leisure and privilege their whole lives to where they're bored out of their brains, and they're the ones that they need to create situations to give them some adversity in life. So they create situations to to give them some type of value or feeling to their lives. But those same people, they're also used to a life of privilege and a life of luxury, to where if they don't like something, all they do is they go pay off a couple politicians, a couple scientists, a couple whoever, so they can get their way. Like even right now, you can see things like Bill Gates is not just buying up farmland. Now he's going after water aquifers and stuff, because for whatever reason he wants to control people. He wants to control, and he has the money and the means to do it. So he wants to control the water supply now. So that's a thing that's happening right now. Like literally right now, that's a thing. So these same people, for whatever reason, and I've sat at the tables with millionaires and billionaires before, just from me doing photography and stuff with them. And I've listened to them talk, and I've heard out of my own ears, I've heard one guy that owns a very big company that I can't name, but I heard him say, man, I hate those guys with Camaros, man. Like they come up next to my Bugatti and they think they're all that, just because they made their car fast. And that's something that would irk them, and they may go pay off somebody and say, hey, I don't want this car production anymore, get rid of the Camaro. And that's how rich, wealthy people that have lived a life of leisure, that have had money handed down to them for generations, that's how they behave. And that's how things happen, right? So right now there's this war on car culture. I don't think it's done by people like Trump and stuff. I feel like Trump is actually trying to save car culture and trying to save America at the same time. Like I think he's doing the best way that he knows how. But at the same time, all these people are limited, because the people that get into politics are literally not our best and brightest. They're the people that have the most chance to succeed. So these people, they get out there, they basically just do what their constituents, the people with the money that are paying them, are telling them to do. So now, I gotta give credit to Ford. Ford is the last one standing that still has a true enthusiast muscle car V8 that's out there. And I think the auto YouTubers like me that are trying to push cars like this are not gonna get the most love. We're gonna like succeed in pushing cars like our CX-90 that's in the back there, pickup trucks, things that are not a threat, things that those wealthy, handed down money class people could care less about. They just don't want to see you even close to sharing their type of lifestyle or having their type of enjoyment. But I'm gonna go further into this. As you guys see, I got my bike here. That's another thing I think future auto YouTubers are probably going to be focusing more on stuff like this, but I'm going to break it down and get more into detail in a little bit. So let's head out, let's go on a little adventure, and I'll expound on what I'm talking about a little bit further. All right, so this is the direction that I believe most auto YouTubers are going to start going in. It's going to be outdoor fun activities that they can go do with their friends and family, and they're going to start focusing more on vehicles like this because this is not really a threat. And then also the price to get in is not as high as, let's say, a sports car. And I think they also going to focus on SUVs and things like this just because they know that YouTube will pay you more for vehicles like this that advertisers can get behind and try to sell more of, because this is what's more in demand sales wise, is SUVs and trucks. Now, I say all that to say this too. I also think there's going to be another direction, because for whatever reason, YouTube does not pay as much as what it used to. So I think you're going to see a lot of people not caring as much about the money. So they're going to be speaking out and kind of speaking their mind a little bit more, because they're going to be like, well, YouTube barely pays me anything anyway, so let me just speak my mind and at least use this as an outlet to get my thoughts out there. So I think you're going to see a lot of people either create second channels, they're going to create new channels where they could kind of just speak their mind and say what they want to say, or they may just make the pivot on their current channels and do a lot more of just speaking their mind, and they may get a little bit more political and stuff, because more like I'm the OG of this. I spoke about this a long time ago. People don't realize how politics and all that influence car culture. They don't understand how it influences every aspect of your life, the people that makes the laws and stuff. So for instance, right now there's at least in Florida, there's like a super speeder law where if you go over 100 miles an hour, it's like automatic jail time, or 50 miles over the speed limit, automatic jail time. So what that's going to do, it's going to push away especially the wealthy car enthusiasts that will buy their Ferraris and their Lamborghinis and their Porsches and stuff like that. They're going to start going to either to other states like Tennessee, or, you know, I'm not sure what the laws are like in Texas, but they're going to start going to other states like that. Or they may leave the U.S. completely. They may just take their dollars outside the U.S. and go to places in South America and in Africa and stuff like that, because that's where they're going to get more freedom and a way more bang for their buck. So I think you're going to start seeing a lot of big-time YouTubers moving out of states like Florida that has like silly bans like that, where, because okay, nobody should be breaking the speed limit and stuff like that. I don't condone that. But in no way, shape, or form should you should take a good person and throw them in jail with murderers and killers, like, and think that that's going to work out well. Because what's going to happen is the people that get stuck in there with those type of people, they're going to pick up those sort of habits, and when they get out, you're going to have a worse type of society on your hand. And that just shows you how short-sighted these very wealthy, privileged few are, is that they don't realize, ooh, I just saw a wasp get in there. Let's get him out of there. Come on, wasp. Get out of there. Yeah, I had to stop that real quick. Man, look how quick they get in there. But yeah, so they're so short-sighted. They don't see how the things that they do, the repercussions that it's going to have, they don't see how it's going to come back to bite them even worse later on. So what I suggest is, instead of having like that super speeder ban, start putting tolls on highways and allow people to go over 100 miles an hour and benefit from it financially, and pour that back into society, you know? So that's one of the things where, like, I realize these people are just kind of ruining life. And what they're going to do, they're going to push the best and the brightest outside of the country. And you're going to start seeing other places start developing better, because people don't realize some of the most wealthy people, like, they get there because they have a dream of owning a supercar. They have a dream of owning certain things. And when you take away that desire, where it's like, yeah, you can't enjoy. What's up now? Doing good. How about yourself? All right. Yeah. So that's somebody I met within the car community who just bonded over cars. But yeah, so when you're in a situation where you're not able to enjoy the fruits of your labor, you're going to go where you're appreciated. You're going to go someplace where you can. So I think I see states like Florida and New York, they're going to be losing a lot of money. A lot of people are going to be moving elsewhere. And the YouTubers, And understand something, YouTubers now, or influencers in general, are vital to most economies because we sell things that need to be sold. Like, we'll get things moving. We'll get, like, I noticed just for me focusing on the X Runner, I saw people started buying X Runners like crazy now. Like, everybody wants one, you know. And it's just, if you Google Tacoma X Runner, you're gonna see the majority of them are all my videos, you know. So I know that we move the needle, we make things happen, you know. And I think what's going to happen now is creators are not just going to focus on things like, you know, trucks and SUVs. They're going to, like I said, they're going to get into more politics and stuff like that, and they're going to start moving the needle with that. So I think that's going to have a huge impact, and that's going to like sway, it's going to basically work against what those same, you know, wealthy people of luxury and leisure, you know, and privilege, what they want. Another thing too is I think that future YouTubers are going to start getting into like boats and jet skis and things like that. You're going to see them start pushing that. So I would say look for those things to start making more. You're going to start seeing more of that type of content on YouTube and stuff like that. So that's another thing. And speaking of which, I'll show you guys. I got my bike here. I'm about to go for a little ride, get in some exercise. So I'll take you guys on that journey with me, and we'll finish up this video on the road. So I wanna basically get into what car culture is. A lot of people don't realize that what car culture is, shift the gear, is it's two things. One, it's obviously our passion for cars and automobiles and things like that. But more importantly than that, I think what it's mostly is humans getting together. It's all about human connection, you know, and we all long for that. We all long to be near other humans. We all long to be able to, you know, see each other, you know, hit each other when we laugh, crack jokes, just be around other humans. And that's literally, you know, what the car community is being around other like-minded individuals that share your passion for cars and stuff. And oh man, it looks like it's about to rain. Let me see if I can make a quick U-turn. Yeah, I saw it was about to rain, and I was getting ready to go ride the bike at this park. I gotta try and outrun the rain now. But yeah, so that need for human connection is a huge part of what car culture is. And I think what YouTubers are gonna do now is they're either going to be forced to go to racetracks and stuff, because most of us do not want to, you know, risk freedom just to make content, you know what I mean? So I think you're going to see a lot more events at drag strips and roll race events and stuff like that. You'll probably see a lot more YouTubers get into that. Or they may just, like I said, I think a lot of YouTubers are probably going to move out the US and go to places where they have a little bit more freedom and just connect with other like-minded individuals, really, because I think it's getting to the point now where there's so little, like the place that has been marketed as, you know, freedom, you're so micromanaged in the US, whether it be by social media, whether it be by, you know, your job opportunities. Like, you have to act a certain way and be a certain way, and if you're not, you're going to be ridiculed and ostracized. And I think that's going to push a lot of people out of the country and into countries that have more freedom, where, or at least where they just don't care. They're like, yeah, do what you got to do. You know what I mean? We're happy for your presence, your money, your ingenuity. You know, so I think you're going to start seeing a lot of YouTubers traveling and going to other places. I think you're going to see them doing a lot more content at drag strips and places where, you know, they can kind of push their cars. And I think you're going to see them get into different lifestyles. You're going to see them get into boating, and they may come up with other things that can bring a lot of people together. Because, like, I know a lot of people that have gotten married and gotten together with other people based on their cars. They just met at a car meet, and that's like a way of life for most people. Most people know you go to like a car meet or you go to a car function, that you're gonna probably meet somebody that you're gonna want to spend more time with. And I think that's gonna be like a huge deal to, you know, to the creators as well, because creators are people like me that actually enjoy cars, because it's not cheap to get into this. You know, it's not cheap to buy a you know, a brand new Camaro SS1LE or a Honda Civic Type R or Golf R, or, you know, a lot of the cars that I bought, Subaru WRX STIs, even my Tacoma X running here or my Mustang GT, it's not like cheap to do that, and you want to get some type of return. So I think you're going to see a lot more people leave the car space and get into entrepreneurism. You know, they're gonna become entrepreneurs because they don't want to mess with like that. They don't want to run afoul of the popo. You know, they just want simple basic things. They want to be able to provide for their family, and they want to be able to do something that makes them happy. You know, that was what the U.S. was kind of founded on. It was the pursuit of happiness. And if there's nothing that can make you happy, you're gonna either leave this country or you're gonna find something new that nobody else thought about. You know what I mean? So I think by them, you know, cracking down on fun vehicles and them attacking car culture, they're just going to push those people into other things, and the creators are going to follow as well. So look out for all your modern day YouTubers that you see. I see like shout out to Mod the Fame. I see he's like, you know, kind of restructured his channel and he's doing things in a cool way. Same thing, shout out to Moose 2X, shout out to Will Motivation, shout out to Q the Chaotic, Blueprint 1 Elite, 100 Grand Nate, shout out to Race Car 21, shout out to Speed Demon, Fast Life, Kappa for Life, Dr. Robert, all you guys. Shout out to all you guys, because you guys get it. You guys get it that it's about human connection, and I'm sure that's why you guys come to my channel, because I offer a different perspective compared to a lot of other people. But it's raining, and that's all I got to say about that. So hope you guys enjoy this one. Race Car Friends, out. I had to show you guys this, right? I'm out here. I was getting ready to go check up on the X runners, getting some work done. And look at this. Look what that says. It says guns and coffee. Man, United States is such a different place, man. Florida especially. Florida is a different place. Guns and coffee. Yeah. I mean, you know, that's what they do.